Mormons have an additional book of scripture we call the Pearl of Great Price. It has 2 books in it, the Book of Moses and the Book of Abraham. And I remember reading in the Book of Abraham about how there was idolatry where Abraham lived, and people were sacrificing their children to idols. As is typical in Mormon scripture, 3 virgins of Oneida were sacrificed to the idol for their virtue and goodness, and they did not survive, but miraculously, somehow, the men always survive in Mormon scripture, just like Alma and Amulek did in the Book of Mormon. Anyway, this is supposed to make God's request of Abraham to sacrifice Isaac an even more terrible request, considering Abraham's own experience with being sacrificed by his father. But this story of Terah, Abraham's father's idolatry, is also in the Midrash, the Jewish additional apocrypha. And I'm starting to wonder, which really is the faith of our fathers? Really? Who's your idol? So let's get this straight. According to Mormon doctrine, Abraham was seeking after the priesthood of his fathers, which came from God the Father. And he didn't like that his father was worshiping something other than God the Father. I believe there was also another guy who taught this. As I understand it, Jesus of Nazareth spent the 3 years of his public ministry trying to tell the members of his own faith that they were looking beyond the mark. This is a Mormon expression. Guess how that's defined? The moral of the story is you can make an idol out of just about anything. Just be careful that you know who and what you're really worshiping.
You take me for a fool? These idols can't walk, talk, or wield a hammer. They're just stone.
How then can you worship them?